This is the X-S20 and today we're going to be shooting with it. I'm going to show you all it can do. This is a pretty dope camera and I don't know what else to say, so let's go. I would do both hands like back like that and just kind of looking out that direction. And I would do chin down though. Bring your right hand in a little closer to your body. Yeah. Oh, I'm in electronic shutter now because it's too bright. Yo, look how good this looks.
Oh, done.
Sick. How do you zoom in on this camera? Where's the zoom button?
Good question.
Whoa.
Whoa. And there
Mega
it is.
zoom. If you want to do one, let's just keep taking a couple shots here because I feel like those were just kind of test shots. There were 3 shots, but they were also awesome. They were just the test shots.
This camera is a mix of old and new. It's rocking the older 26 megapixel X-Trans4 sensor from last generation, but with the new processor in it from this current generation in the X-T5 and X-H2. It has improved 5-axis in-body stabilization, rated up to 7 stops, a 3-inch 1.8 million dot fully articulating touchscreen. The body design and button layout is very similar to the X-S10, but now the mode dial has a few changes. You have 4 custom modes as well as a new vlog option, which basically puts the camera into auto mode. On the top left side, there's also an unmarked dial that's set to film simulations, but you can reprogram that to whatever you want. And the other cool thing about this camera is it has a pop-up flash. We don't see that too often anymore. On the I/O, the camera is pretty simple. It has USB-C for charging as well as using a webcam, micro Hdmi, which actually can support ProRes RAW and Blackmagic RAW. It has a mic jack, and on the opposite side of the camera, it has a headphone jack. It's now also using the bigger battery that we're finding in all the other Fuji cameras, so it has way better improved battery life, and somehow they're able to squeeze that into the grip, which is only slightly bigger than the X-S10.
Bring your right arm in a little closer. Yeah. Nice. Open. Sick. They're letting us move up. The spot in front of us is gonna look way better. The angle we were on was pretty good, but now we can see like straight up through there if we want to. Bring it a little closer. This time open. 3, 2, 1, open. Love that.
Now when it comes to video, it can shoot 4K up to 60 frames per second, 10-bit 422, F-Log, F-Log2. It can shoot 6.2K open gate up to 30 frames per second, which is also 10-bit 422. So this is very similar to the X-H2S, it just doesn't have 4K 120p. Now one cool thing we haven't seen from the sensor in the past is the ability to shoot F-Log2. That's going to squeeze a little bit more dynamic range out of it, gives you better highlight recovery, but it does give you a bit more noise in the shadows. Now when it comes to overheating, I didn't do too many crazy tests. I was able to get around 40 minutes of 6.2K open gate before the overheating light came on, and I got a little over an hour in 4K 60p. It's not going to win any awards, but you can stick a fan on it like you can on the X-H2S for extended recording times.
It adds to the look.
What's the guns now?
I don't know. It felt like it was part of it.
The wide leg gun pose. Or you could actually have your back against this wall and then we see out to where the car is too.
Yeah, you want to try that?
Yeah. Let's try that.
Let's try.
The only thing that sucks is that post behind you. Dude, I love these colors. We're shooting in classic negative right now. No, we're shooting in nostalgic negative. I was in classic negative. Nostalgic negative is a little bit more warmer looking.
A big reason why people love Fuji is the film simulations, and it has all the new film simulations, even nostalgic negative. I think they're up to 19 now. It also has the best autofocus system that Fuji produces, as well as subject detection, so it can now do animal, bird, automobile, motorcycle, airplane, train, you name it. It's also crazy to see Fuji didn't hold back when it comes to high burst rate. You can shoot 30 frames per second with a crop or 20 frames per second without a crop. We tried it out here with 10 frames per second, and you can't hear any shutter sound because I was in electronic shutter, and because I'm recording the screen through Hdmi, it doesn't have any shutter sound.
Love that. You shoot it against this white wall. Yeah. That's amazing. It's more like you're sitting here and you're just kind of looking back like that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. Sick. The lighting's so good right now. This is the cheap kit lens too. The kit lens is fire. Yeah, that's sick. Love that. Okay, so there's one shadow coming right across your face. So, and then you can put your arm up on the dash, I think. That's pretty dope. 3, 2, 1. The Gerald Undone purple cable's in my frame. He's crazy. You're thinking the same thing. Let's shoot a couple in black and white. Oh, this looks so good in black and white. Why are we shooting in color?
Ever.
Acros R, that's my favorite setting to shoot in. Holy crap, this looks good. I kind of like those random people behind you. All right, so the XS20. I really like the XS10, and I feel like this is a nice upgrade. This isn't a tiny little upgrade. This is improved in a ton of different ways, especially when it comes to video. You can shoot 4K 60p, 10-bit 422 internally. You can have all the high bit rates. You can shoot H.265. You have DCI. You also have the ability to shoot 6.2K open gate, which is like a 3x2 framing. And if you know the benefits of that, it's really good for shooting vertical content as well as horizontal content because you get that extra headroom. And so reframing on open gate is really nice. And it's awesome that you have it in this camera because you don't even have it in the X-T5. And what's even crazier is you can do RAW through the HDMI, so you can do Blackmagic RAW or ProRes RAW, so you get both flavors of RAW. And that's also crazy out of a camera this price range. And I know some people might be concerned about the older sensor being in this camera, but honestly, there was nothing wrong with this sensor. It's a really good sensor, and it has amazing rolling shutter performance. It's way better than the new 40 megapixel sensor that's being used in the X-T5. And so you actually have a little bit better performance when you're shooting video with this, at least when it comes to rolling shutter. And the other thing that's awesome about this sensor when paired with the newest processor is that it can do that 6.2K open gate. It has the faster readout. And I think that if they had stuck the old processor in this camera, it wouldn't have been able to do that, plus all the new autofocus modes that you can do. And this is the first time we're seeing this where Fuji has 3 different sensors across their entire new lineup of cameras. So we have the stacked 26 megapixel that's in the X-H2S. We have the 26 megapixel X-Trans4 that's in this camera. And then we have the new 40 megapixel X-Trans5 that's in the X-T5 and the X-H2. And I'm happy to see that they put the newer, bigger battery in this camera, so we get pretty good battery life out of this camera. And they made the grip a tiny little bit bigger and they squeezed it in there. It barely fits, but we do have the bigger battery in this camera. And that's gonna be good when you're shooting 4K 60p or even the 6.2K open gate.
Oh, and before I forget, they also came out with a little vlog handle. It's pretty similar to what Sony has. You can trigger record or zoom if you have power zoom lenses through Bluetooth. And then it also folds out into a little tripod.
For the price, this camera is actually amazing. It's $12.99 US. and I'd probably take this over an X-T4. It might not be as professional. It doesn't have dual card slots. It doesn't have probably the best weather sealing, but I think when it comes to a content creator camera, especially when it comes to video, this is actually way better. And in some ways, this is almost like a little mini X-H2S. Now, the only thing that this is missing that the X-H2S has is the ability to shoot 4K 120 frames per second, but this can do 120 frames per second in 1080p. It can also do up to 240 frames per second in 1080p, and it's missing a full-size HDMI. It just has a micro HDMI, but outside of that, like I said, this is a Mini X-H2S. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Kira for modeling and Joe for shooting behind the scenes. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, give it a thumbs down twice. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, we're shooting with the 8mm. This is your quick, fast review. It's wide and 3.5, and it's kind of fun to play with. That's my review. So let's do back against the wall again. I love the arms out because you get that, like, yeah, the fringe. Okay, I'm gonna get you to walk out off the wall towards me.
Okay.
Yeah. I was trying to get that boot perfectly to line up with the... Sick, right?
Ready?
Yeah. Why is this flash so, like, intermittent?
I was gonna say, are you trying to get the flash together?
Does it need to charge up or something? Bring this hand like maybe up to your belt buckle area. Do that, but keep this left leg out a bit.